Hello to everyone. Welcome to day 2. It is continuous session. This is a webinar. This is the day 2. We are still about advanced financial management. I'm still Saimana Evarist, student of University of Rwanda, College of Business, from BBA students in finance, and also I'm CPA student from ICPAL. That is my email button, gisevlazon@gmail.com. There is another phone number. You can contact me, you can WhatsApp me, 2050 78 11 11 4 1 and 6. Let us continue about what I have promised you for day 1. In day 2 we are going to look about the project appraisal. Today we are going to deal with the following: the impact. We are going to look about the inflation, about the impact of taxation. So in this session we are going to look about the inflation, and we are going to do an exercise in order to understand well. Let us look at the impact of inflation. First of all, what is inflation? Inflation is a general increase in price leading to a general decline in the real value of money. In a time of inflation, the fund provider, someone who provides the fund, will require a return made up of 2 elements. If you provide a fund to the company, you need 2 elements of returns. The first of all, you need a real return for the use of their fund. For amount of money you have invested in a company, you need a real return to use your fund. Assume if you buy share in a company, you need a return, a real return. Meaning that you need that fund you have provided for that company in a current price. Additional return, you need additional return to compensate for inflation. If you have invested 1,000 and the inflation happening, the company is going to compensate you. There's some additional inflation that happened for your investment. This is the formula where we use when you are calculating the nominal rate. So the formula, we take 1 plus I, which is equal to 1 plus R multiplied by 1 plus H, where I it is a nominal rate, R it is a real rate, H it is inflation rate. So you can calculate the one thing if they ask you to calculate like real rate. In order to calculate the real rate, you have to take 1 plus R, which is equal 1 plus I divided by 1 plus H. That is the formula to find the real rate. Let us look about the types of cash flow. There are 2 types of cash flow. We have real cash flow and nominal cash flow. When we are saying about the real cash flow, meaning that the cash you are generating or cash that you are spending are in a current price. When you are calculating about for the project, or you are going to calculate the returns, you should discount in real rates. Discount the real discounting rate, which is a return which is a return ignoring inflation. You are not to include inflation in your current price, in your cash flows. That is for the real cash flow, where it is not incorporated by inflation. Nominal cash flows, meaning that the actual expected cash flow at the future price, meaning that cash flow you are expecting in the future price for the next period, the price will be increased. You including inflationary increasing should be discounted at the nominal discounting rate, which is the rate relating to the current market rate of return. Meaning that if in the transaction they are saying that that amount of money and forecast to be like this, inflation is going to be forecast, revenue will increase like 10%, that is a nominal cash flow. Nominal interest rate incorporated inflation. When the nominal rate of interest is higher than the rate of inflation, exactly, there is a positive real rate. When the rate of inflation is higher than the nominal rate of interest, the real rate of interest will be negative. Do you understand? So let us look at two types of inflation. Actual, known this, it is well known. We have a specific inflation rate and we have general rate of inflation. If in a country there is a specific inflation rate, meaning that impacts all individuals' cash flow items, each cash flow is affected by a specific rate. For general rate of inflation, it impacts the investors over a required rate of return. Here for specific it is impact for all individuals. Here it is only for investors. For general, the investors in the project need to compensate for their lost purchasing power. If someone invests in your company and the purchasing power lost, meaning that you are going to compensate, which relates to the ability to buy a basket of all goods rather than any specific one. There are two methods to deal with inflation. The methods are two: the real method and the nominal method. As I said previously, in the real you do not incorporate inflation, but in the nominal you are going to inflate that cash flows. So here, if it is a real method you are going to use, you do not inflate the cash flow. The money you are generating or the cost you are incurring, you do not incorporate, you do not inflate. So leave it in the real terms. You are going to leave it in today's as price. After that, after to leave it, then you discount by using the real rate, and then you get the real. For nominal method, you are going to inflate each cash flow. If there is a revenue you get, you're going to inflate. If there is a tax, you're going to inflate. So for each specific inflation rate, if there is a real rate, you are going to convert into the money flow, and then after you discount by using the money rate and you get the money. You have to be consistent. This is an exercise we are going to discuss for today and to collect it. So because it is long, we are going to learn, and then we are going to start by working for each in order to make it clear and everyone understand well. So an exercise, they're saying that a company is considering investing $4.5 million in the project to achieve an annual increase in revenue over the next 5 years of $2 million. The project will lead to an increase in the wage cost of $0.4 million per year, meaning that the cost is going to be incurred in each year, and that revenue is going to increase in every year until to 5 years, meaning that this project is going to be in 5 years, and this company is considering to invest 4.5 million as we have laid. So the project will lead to an increase in the wage of 0.4 as we have said per year, and we also require an expenditure. of 0.3 to maintain the level of existing asset to be used on the project. The company will require the 0.3 million for each project in this year, every year. Additional investment in working capital equivalents to 10% of increasing in the revenue will need to be in place at the start of each year. If you are going to start for year 0, we are going to calculate 10% result from the revenue. The following forecasts are made of the rates of inflation each year for the next 5 years. This is the forecast, what they are forecasting to have for inflation. Revenue will increase by 10, wage 5, assets 7, general price 6.5. The real cost of capital of the company is 8. They are saying it is real, it is not nominal, because we are forecasting, meaning that it is a future price. So we are going to convert it into the nominal rate of cash flow and in real term. They are saying that ignore the tax. Required, find the free cash flows of the project and determine whether it is worthwhile. Determine whether the project is going to be happen, where the project is available. So let us go to the collection. Well, we are going to look for, this is the data given. They are given in our question and question investment, which is equal $4.5 million. Revenue is a 2M, which is going to increase over the 5 years, as the question said. Cost is 0.4 million per year. The cost we are going to incur each year $0.4 per year, and expenditure is of 0.3 to maintain the assets. So working capital, it will be 10% from the revenue increase by starting a year, meaning that in the year 0 we are going to have 10% result from the revenue. Forecasted inflation, as I said, revenue is 10%, wage is 5%, assets 70%, general price 6.5. The real cost of capital of the company is 8, as we have said. So let us continue for the workings. Before going to the workings, you have to remember this. Remember free cash flow formula. Remember the impact of inflation formula. The free cash flows equal to revenue minus cost minus investment. In our question, we have seen the revenue, we have seen the cost, we are seeing the investment. So let us continue for the answer. For the answer, let us request everyone who is looking this video to take his calculator or her calculator. For working number 1, we are going to look about the revenue increase. I have 2 tables. One table shows the time: year 0, year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5. Revenue not inflated, meaning that, as you have read it in our question, revenue which is not inflated, it was 2 million per year. So we are going to inflate. So we are going to use this formula in a table 2, where they said that the revenue inflated by 10%. So we are going to take the amount in year 1, then we multiply the amount this you have seen previously, and you multiply by 1 plus I, means inflation times the time. As you have seen, for the first year we get 2,200 as a calculation, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, and year 6. For the working tool, we are going to look about the capital retention. We are going to look about the working capital required, meaning that in our question they said that additional investment in the working capital equivalents to 10% of increase in the revenue will need to be in a press at the start of each year. As we have seen in the working one, we have said that we have get that the revenue in year 1 it is 2,200. Year 3 there's amount as we see up to year 5. We are going to deduct working capital of 10% in each year, where we are going to take revenue times 10% for each year. But the first year we goes in year 0, where we are going to take the 2,200 times 10%, and we get 220. This is a working capital we get. But for this working, we need this. When you are getting working capital, meaning this, that working capital is going to be deducted, as we have seen for the formula of free cash flow, where we are going to take the year 0 minus year 1, where we get 2,220 minus 242, and we get 220. This is for the first year. For the year 0, it will continue to be 220. For year 1, we are going to take 2,000, or previously 220 minus 242 in the year 1, and they get 22, and continue applying this formula. So this will be like incremental. So it will be like incremental, meaning this is a working 2. For working 3, we are going to calculate the cost of capital. We need to convert the real cost of capital into nominal. As we have seen previously, the formula of inflation, it is 1 plus I equal 1 plus R times 1 plus H. I, it is the nominal rate, R, it is the real rate, H, it is inflation rate, where R equal 8 in our question, meaning the real rate is 8%, H, inflation rate is 6.5%. So we use this formula. As we see, I have calculated, and I have get the 15% to be using in discounting. Let us continue for working 4. Working 4, it is about the wage cost. Wage cost means the wage cost increased. For wage cost per year, it was 400 million in each year. Year 1, year 2, all it was constant. But to increase wage inflated by at 5%, we are going to use this formula as you see. I think it is self-explanatory. Let us continue for working 5. Working 5, it is about the asset replacement spending. In our question, they said that they will require expenditure of 300 million per year to maintain the level of existing asset to be used on the project. Meaning this per year, this is not wage cost, it is the expenditure, not here wage cost. So expenditure it is 300 per year, it is a constant up to year 5. So we are going to inflate. Always we use this formula: amount multiplied by 1 plus I it is the interest, I it is the inflation rate, power time. As you see, this is the working 5 solution. Then we continue for our answer. So our answer, as we see, the first, this is the time, year 0, or you can say time 0, time 1, time 2, and I'm going to put inflation. Remember formula of free cash flow. This is revenue minus cost minus investment. Here it is what we are going to apply. For working 1, I'll get it is a revenue, where in year 1 we get this, and wage cost. You see, this is a cost. It is from the working 4, where you are going to put it from each year. And after that, we get operating cash flow. If there is a tax, you have to subtract, and you get net. Free cash flow. So you are going to deduct the investment. Our investment was 4.5 million USA dollars, meaning we have started our business. That's why we subtract from year 0, not each year. Each year we are not investing. So, and then you see it is expenditure we made to maintain our assets, the working 5, where we get this and this from each year. And then we go about the working capital. Working capital, it is like an additional investment. From working 2, we have said in year 0 it is 220, and you continue until it's until year 4. And this working capital will be back in year 5. That is why we put the whole amount here in year 5. And then you subtract from operating. You take operating cash flow, multiply, you raise an investment, you raise cash, asset replacement, and then after you get working capital, you less it. After that you get free cash flow, and then you take the present value factor of 15% from working 3. As I have said, it is a 15% that you are going to make discount for each year from the tables, and then we get the present value free cash flow. After that we conclude if the project is worthwhile. Our net present value is 1,390, which, and also subscribe for once. If you are viewing this video once, please subscribe. My God bless you. This is Apatech TV. You have to subscribe.